Hey guys, it's Chris. In the last video we took a look at factoring trinomial expressions. In this video we have that same expression, however, I've got it set equal to 0. Now, it being set equal to 0, it's no longer an expression, it's actually now an equation. The difference between the two is that an expression doesn't have an equal sign, while an equation does have an equal sign. So how do we deal with this? Well, since it's an equation and we have a variable, we want to solve for that variable, right? We have an equation, we have a variable, we solve for that variable, we're solving for x. But it's kind of funky because there's an x squared here. So how do we handle that? Well, it's actually exactly like what we did in the last video, plus a few extra steps. So let's get to work. Here we have x squared plus 2x minus 3 equals 0. We're going to factor that. And if you don't know how to factor or don't remember, take a look at my other video that I posted just the other day, and you'll get x plus 3 and x minus 1 equals to 0. Okay, well, how does that help us? Because we still have x's and we still have an equal sign and we still have 0. Well, in math we have this thing called the zero product property. And what that means is if you have something that multiplies to 0, right? Let's say we have two numbers, a and b, and they multiply to 0. One of those numbers has to be 0, right? Either a has to be 0, a has to be 0, or b has to be 0, or they both have to be 0, right? Because 0 times 0 would give you 0. Anything times 0 would give you 0, and 0 times anything would also give you 0. So either one or both of those has to be equal to 0. So that's what we're going to use over here. We have two things being multiplied together, and they're equal to 0. So we're going to use this zero product rule, product property. So we've got x plus 3 equals 0. And we've got x minus 1 equals 0. Here, it's just simple algebra. We have a positive 3, we're going to do the inverse operation. A minus 3, which you do to one side, you do to the other. And you get x is equal to negative 3. Here, we're going to do the same thing, right? Inverse operation, plus 1. What you do to one side, you have to do to the other. And you get x is equal to positive 1. So our solution is x is equal to negative 3, or, right, x is equal to 1. Could be both of them, could be one of them, right? We're not sure. We'd have to look at the graph to figure that out. And that's how you solve a quadratic equation. All right, thanks for tuning in. Please like and subscribe. And if you have any questions about any other math at all, leave that in the comments section and I'll get to a video as soon as possible. Thanks for tuning in.